Okay, welcome to the fourth episode of the App Life podcast. And today we want to talk about how to do market research. So, how to find a good app to develop that will be successful in the market. And we started with the Learn Thai app, but that Facebook, that was our first app. And we did some market research for it, I guess. So you did it one, right? So how did you do it?
We downloaded the competitors app. We go to Play Store because we started with Android. So we download different app from Play Store, and then we found that there's not a lot of Thai apps out there, and we wrote all of them down and find out the problem or issues from the app based on our own usage, and we also go through the reviews of the apps, and create the list of what the people like or what the people don't like about it, make it as a classifying all of them and see what we would like to do it better, what we would like to add to our own Facebook app, and what we think it's not that important for the first version of the app. Yeah.
So what was that in our app back then? Like, which app or which features did we say did we see, which did we think okay we should add?
Yeah, so many Thai apps at that time, they were first thing is the quality that we want to be better, the quality of the sound, and the usability of the app. At the time, there were not like big player in Thai language learning
Even now,
apps.
not that much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So number one is we focus on quality, sound quality. Second one is the usability, and the third one we want to add for the users. More is about some kind of Thai grammar, like how to build specific sentence, and for us we call it the killer feature, where we split the sentence into words.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Right.
that were the core features of our app that we
And
would
the
like
quiz
to.
we had as well.
Yeah, but that would be that first were
Oh, okay.
our MVP.
Competitive. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Minimal viable product. So yeah, even in that plan, we wanted to really improve on the existing competitors, right? And that's pretty important to I so I think what's important is a combination of okay what already works on the market and also really improve it. So and since we saw that it worked for other languages, these phrase books they had really good reviews for other languages. Also for Thai, they had a lot of reviews. So we saw that okay, if an app has a few thousand reviews, then probably a lot of users download it, and probably also a lot of people pay for it. And then yeah, we went okay. So we knew that idea could work, and then okay, how do you make the existing ones better? But how? So let's go get a step back. And how did you actually think about? So you just did a brainstorm because you came up with the idea of Learn Thai, right? But I mean, it could be millions of other ideas, right? So how did you just come up with this one and not with any other one?
Mm, yeah. So
I think it was just because okay, you wanted to learn another language, you wanted to learn Korean, and then you thought okay, also there is not that much out there, and then you checked okay, because you are from Thailand, so you could also teach other people how to learn Thai, and so you have this unique advantage that you can like right? Like, because in the end you did the recording then, right? And that was easy to start, and so that's why we picked, I think, Thai, because you just had, it was just easy to start.
Yeah.
And I think that's another point where in the beginning it's good to pick something where you might have some strength, or you might have some special interest where you have a lot of knowledge. Like, say, I don't know, you do yoga, or you have a special sport that you love, swimming or whatever, and you know a lot about it. So you can be your own customer first. So you can be your own uh, target group first, so you know what people want. I think
Yeah.
that's an advantage. I mean, that doesn't have to be like that. I mean, you could also do a totally random, or totally an idea that is not related to yourself. But probably for the start, it's better that you have something
Yeah, you it's
that you are also interested in.
yeah, I think that is also motivated. If
Yeah.
you know that you will be the first one who would like to use it, it's yeah, it's create a better feeling after you finish one feature. You're like, okay, that's great, I would like to use it, and I see what I can do better. But also do not, also we should also not stuck in there, like, okay, it's then at the end is the app gonna solve on your for you yourself alone, but be more average or general to what other people would think about it too. So that's why we said put it out quick, put the app out quick to get feedbacks. Then the more you wait, the more I would say the direction could be yeah, it could be really go
Change.
to, yeah, to the wrong direction if you
Oh yeah,
wait too
if you build
long.
like 2 years and then you don't show it to anyone, and then maybe actually people don't want the feature that you thought it's great, because you are the only one who actually thought about it, then right, or would play it, right, but then other people might not be have the same opinion like you, right? In the end, it's you have to create a mass market, because or you have to, yeah, not only create the app for, a few people, because at least what we are doing is that we create app for consumers, right? And then usually you need a lot of volume to make it worth it. uh, of course, you could also create a niche product, a niche app where one person pays $1,000, and then maybe you just need a few customers. But usually right now how it is that we need to reach thousands and thousands of users, and then a part of them will pay. So yeah, and so yeah, nowadays, I mean, we have more and more apps, right? And then we started with that Thai phrase book, and then we did that into many other languages, and then we also did that Ling app after that. And I think how we came up with this was just that we wanted to have a competitive, no, an unfair competitive advantage. So that's one of the cool term that I think it's from Peter Thiel, the book 0 to 1. It's a great book, and he talks about that you need an unfair competitive advantage, and so in the start you might not really have a lot, and so Kwan had a little bit unfair competitive advantage, because he spoke Thai and she could record it um, herself. But after the first app, we had quite a lot of users that already learned or were interested in language learning, and then we figured our unfair competitive advantage is if we create another app that covers many of the languages that we already strong in, and we can send all of the users that we already have can send to the new app. And that's why we decided to make another language learn app, and not, we could also do a sport app, but that was the reason that we had already existing customers. And then yeah, and then what we looked and which apps are already working, and then we saw, okay, users really love gamifications for learning languages, like learning language with games. And how we saw this is we just went through to App Annie. That's one of the tools we use a lot. App Annie and Sensor Tower .com. where you just can check the top grossing apps in the Play Store and the App Store in different categories, and then we just checked what are the top 50 or top 100 educational apps, and then we just went out a list, and then I think 10 of the top grossing were gamified apps, like in the style of Duolingo and Bubble, and there are a few others. And then we said, okay, we can make some aspects of this better. Obviously, they're really big apps, so it's a bit hard to make them like in all aspects better. But there were some aspects missing, and then what we also do a lot is, as Quan said, mining the reviews. So go through all of the reviews, and that's also nice with App Annie because it's really nicely organized there. You can just filter, and what I like to do is filter by 2 and 3 star reviews, because 1 star is most of the time is just like, okay, that app is shit or it's bugged, and 5 star is like, okay, there's no suggestion. So usually 2 and 3 star reviews are really good to see what the users wanna have better in the app, what they don't like in the existing apps. And so we just did a lot of reading basically of the competitive reviews, and then based on that we created some concept and mock-up, and created the second app. So any other things that we should cover in terms of
Which app?
which app to do?
Yeah, I think
so. There was language learning. We also have other apps. We have party apps. We have a yoga app, and I think what's also we just always use that approach of checking the competitors, checking what's working, and also that unfair competitive advantage, because so with the party apps we just saw, okay, there are quite a few party apps out there, but then one, they are not translated in many languages, and we also had the know-how of how to translate a lot of things into different languages. And secondly, these apps usually use a lot of content, and then we had also a strong process already in place how to create content. And we thought, okay, we could also create a utility app or something without any content, but then since we already have that strong point in our internal processes to create easily content, we just thought, okay, let's make some content apps. Let's try that. And then so maybe that's a good strategy to obviously in the beginning you don't have a process, right? So in the beginning you might focus just on your own strength, but then once you have a little bit or you have maybe 1 or 2 other apps, and then okay, so that's my strength, like what I already did well on the other apps. Now I can transfer that into the next app, and then you have determined, okay, in which area you want to go. Like you want to go like in party apps, for example, and then you can, if you know, okay, you want to do a party app, then you can see, okay, which one of them works well and which one didn't get got a lot of bad reviews or not perfect reviews, and then you can check, okay, what can you improve there. So and then that's to get the first shot. And then the next part is, okay, get the user review, the user feedback, and then you can also start doing analysis, what the user does in the app and stuff like that. But that's for our next episode, right? And then I think that process just continues, like after the first few feature, or after the first shot of the app, then you just have to see, okay, how can I now do the next feature, and then you can also again look to the competitors, and maybe not even to the direct competitors, because often there are you can just copy good ideas from top grossing apps that are not the same as you. For example, okay, for language learning, we could copy, like, or we could get ideas from the top grossing fitness apps, because fitness is very competitive, and then they usually have the best or one of the they test a lot of different shop screen and all that, so we can go ahead and like take some ideas from there. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you have any other?
No, that's a great covering. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then thank you for listening, and see you next time.
Bye.